My English journey. Hello. My name is Randy. Today, I want to share my journey of learning English. It has transformed my life, helping me make friends, dream bigger, and open new opportunities. When I began, I was scared, I didn't know many words, and my accent was different. But I persevered. Just like a baby learning to walk, I stumbled many times but always got back up. You might feel shy or anxious about speaking. You may worry about making mistakes, but don't let that hold you back. Mistakes are part of the learning process. If we don't try, we won't improve. Learning English is like learning to swim. It seems tough at first, but practice makes it easier. The more you listen, the more you learn. You can practice speaking with friends or even alone. Talking to myself in English helped me a lot. You don't need to use complex words, simple ones are sufficient. Express yourself, and others will understand you. Over time, you'll expand your vocabulary. When I was learning, I often worried about being laughed at, but I realized that if I didn't speak, I wouldn't improve. Most people were kind and supportive. If you feel nervous, take a deep breath and smile. The more you converse, the more confident you'll become. Reading aloud can also help you improve your speaking skills. And don't hesitate to ask for help if you're unsure how to say something. Asking is a great way to learn. Always believe in yourself. If you think, I can do this, you will progress. Learning English is like climbing a mountain. Take it one step at a time, and you'll reach the top. Start today and engage with English as much as you can. Don't fear mistakes, keep trying, and one day you'll proudly declare, I did it. Learning English is akin to growing a tree. It takes time but becomes strong. You'll feel proud of your perseverance. Remember, the key is to never stop trying. Keep going, and you will improve. I vividly recall my first attempt at speaking English. My heart raced, but I felt proud afterward. Speaking isn't about perfection, it's about courage. If you don't practice, your skills will stagnate, but the more you engage, the stronger you become. Initially, I watched English movies. At first, I struggled to understand, but I kept watching and learning. Language isn't just about words, it's about connecting with others. Show your emotions through your expressions, smile when happy, frown when confused. Sometimes you might feel stuck, but don't give up. Progress can be slow, but it's always forward. Set small goals, focusing on one thing at a time, like new words or pronunciation. Celebrate every achievement, no matter how small. Keeping a journal in English can also help you think in the language. You can practice with a friend, it's enjoyable and beneficial. Don't shy away from conversing with native speakers, they understand your learning. Mistakes are okay, they help you grow. There will be challenging days, but don't lose hope, you're stronger than you think. Learning English opens many doors, travel, new friendships, and knowledge. When you feel tired, remember your motivation. Think of the future where you can speak confidently. Learning is tough, but you're doing great. If you slip up, don't be hard on yourself, acknowledge that you're learning and improving. One day, you'll surprise yourself with how much you understand and how strong your English has become. I realized that English is about connecting with people. I once spoke to a tourist who smiled when they understood me, and that made me proud. Learning English has taught me patience, each word and sentence is a small victory. Remember that every time you speak, you're achieving something. Keep practicing daily, talk to yourself, describe your surroundings, and use English in your life. Simplicity matters, share your thoughts in straightforward terms. Celebrate every success, no matter how small. Did you speak in English today? Fantastic. Did you learn a new word? Celebrate it. When you make a mistake, don't feel bad, view it as a sign of learning. Keep going, and one day you will reflect on your incredible progress. I remember my early days of learning English. It was challenging. I struggled to understand and speak well, but I kept at it. Gradually, I improved. I made many mistakes, but each taught me something new. Initially, I was afraid of speaking, fearing ridicule or misunderstanding. However, I learned that mistakes are part of the learning journey. The first time I spoke to someone in English, I was nervous, but I took a deep breath and tried. When the other person smiled and understood me, I felt proud. It wasn't easy, there were times I wanted to give up, but my goal of learning English kept me motivated. I practiced daily, seizing every opportunity to speak, even if it was just to myself about my surroundings. Listening to English was also invaluable. I watched movies and listened to music. Although I didn't grasp everything at first, over time, I began to catch words and phrases, learning how to express myself better. Repeating what I heard helped with pronunciation and boosted my confidence. Reading in English was another effective strategy. I started with simple texts and gradually moved to more complex ones. I would look up unfamiliar words, and over time, I began to remember them. Asking questions when I didn't understand something was helpful too, people were usually happy to assist. Setting small, achievable goals kept me motivated. I focused on learning a few new words each day and practiced speaking a little every day. Celebrating small successes, such as introducing myself in English, felt incredible. In conversations, I initially worried about making mistakes, but I learned that most people are understanding and supportive. Over time, I became more confident and focused on expressing myself rather than on my mistakes. I found that speaking daily, even if alone, helped me improve significantly. With friends, we practiced speaking English together, learning from our mistakes and supporting each other. Keeping a journal in English allowed me to reflect on my day and practice writing. I would write a few sentences daily, which helped reinforce my vocabulary. I remember my first real conversation in English with a stranger. I was nervous, but after speaking, I felt relieved and proud. Mistakes were no longer a source of embarrassment but opportunities to grow. I reminded myself to keep going, as every small effort contributed to my progress. Learning English can be tough, you might feel stuck at times. However, every small step counts, and each practice session brings improvement. I often felt frustrated, wanting to speak perfectly right from the start, but I learned that progress takes time. Daily practice is crucial. Even 10 to 15 minutes can make a difference. Enjoying the process makes it easier, so find fun ways to engage with English, movies, music, or books. Thinking in English, rather than translating, became a game changer for me, making speaking more natural and quicker. Speaking with others is one of the best ways to practice. You don't need to wait until you're perfect, just engage with friends or find a language partner. Talking to yourself may feel odd, but it's beneficial. Describe your surroundings or thoughts. The more you practice speaking, the easier it becomes. Listening is vital for learning. It helps you understand how words sound and how they're used in sentences. I often listen to songs and try to catch the lyrics. Writing also played a significant role in my learning process. I started with short sentences about my day and gradually improved. Mistakes are part of the journey, they don't define you. I learned that it's okay to make errors, they are opportunities to learn. Celebrating small victories, like learning a new word, keeps motivation high. In the beginning, speaking English made me nervous. I worried about being understood and felt pressure to be perfect. Over time, I realized that everyone makes mistakes, and that's how we learn. The goal is improvement, not perfection. I practiced whenever I could, even for a few minutes. I spoke to myself about my day or thoughts. Listening to English music and podcasts helped me understand pronunciation and conversation styles. Repeating what I heard improved my speaking skills and boosted my confidence. Reading simple texts helped me build my vocabulary. I started with easy books and worked my way up to more challenging materials. Practicing with friends made learning fun, we supported each other and laughed at our mistakes. Speaking with native speakers was initially intimidating, but most were kind and understanding. I learned to focus on communicating rather than on finding the perfect words. When I couldn't recall a word, I would explain it differently, and people often understood. Setting small, manageable goals kept me motivated. Each day, I focused on learning a few new words or improving my pronunciation. Every achievement, no matter how small, was a reason to celebrate. Thinking in English helped speed up my speaking. I stopped translating in my head, allowing me to express myself more fluidly. Learning English is a gradual journey. It sometimes feels slow, but every step you take helps you improve. I once feared I would never speak well, but now I can converse confidently. Initially, I struggled to understand spoken English, but persistence paid off. I kept listening to music, watching movies, and tuning into conversations, gradually picking up new vocabulary. Repeating phrases helped with pronunciation and comfort. Incorporating English into daily life was crucial. I didn't wait for classes to practice, I described what I saw or did, even if alone. Engaging with friends who also wanted to learn made the process enjoyable and less intimidating. Mistakes were not a setback but a chance to grow. Asking for help when needed was essential, and I learned to appreciate my progress. Each small goal achieved, such as learning 5 new words or speaking for 10 minutes, kept me motivated. Reading simple materials and watching shows in English helped enhance my understanding of the language. I learned to listen closely and look up unfamiliar words, improving my vocabulary. Speaking was the hardest part for me, but I realized the more I practiced, the more comfortable I became. Practicing with fellow learners helped alleviate my fears, fostering a supportive environment. Staying positive was key, even slow progress is progress. Celebrate every achievement, no matter how small. Every time you practice, you grow closer to your goal. So, keep going, and remember that one day, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come.
Congratulations on finishing this section. To improve your English, it is crucial to persistently practice. Finally, we would be most grateful if you could kindly subscribe, like, and share our channel in order to remain well informed and up to date.